Welcome, my dear learners, for this course on finite element analysis. In this module 2, we are discussing on analysis of bars and trusses. So far, we have solved two numerical problems on analysis of truss. In today's lecture, we are going to solve problem number 3 of our discussion on analysis of trusses. The problem number 3 states that for the two-bar truss shown in the figure, determine the nodal displacement, elemental stresses and support reaction. Take Young's modulus as 200 gigapascal and area as 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square. Let us solve this problem. So we have already know the sign convention that we'll use for analysis of trusses. The sign convention is forces acting along positive x direction are considered to be positive and negative x direction are considered to be negative. Forces acting on positive y direction is taken as positive, negative y direction is taken as negative regarding the forces and also regarding the displacements. And coming for fixing up of origin, always we should fix the origin such a way that the entire truss will lie in first quadrant. So therefore, I will fix the origin at this point. I will fix this as origin. If I fix node 3 as origin, the entire truss will come in first quadrant. So now fixing that as origin, if I move for step 1, we have finite element model. So coming for finite element model, the element 1 is like this, and the node number for element 1 are node number 1 and node number 2. Therefore, I should calculate u1 and v1. And coming for node number 2, since node number 2 is completely fixed, both u2 and v2 are 0. This is about element 1. Next, coming for element 2, we have node number 1 and 3. So this is the globally least node number. So therefore, this is initial node. I should calculate u1. v1 is specified for us, which is plus 50 mm. It is moving upward, and we have node number 3. Where which I should calculate u3 and v3. This is about element number 2. Now let us solve this problem. Moving for step 1, that is nodal coordinate data. Sorry, step 2. So since I have space here, I can write step 2 here itself. So if I write step 2, that is nodal coordinates, we have node number, coordinate x and coordinate y. So we have totally 3 nodes. So for node number 1, the value of x is 4 meters and the value of y is 0. For node number 2, the value of x is 0, the value of y is 3 meters. Next, for node number 3, the value of x is 0, the value of y is also 0. So this is about nodal coordinates. All the dimensions are in meters. Kindly make a note. All the dimensions are in meters. Let us solve this problem throughout in meters itself. Next, moving for step 3, that is direction cosine matrix. Coming for direction cosine matrix, first I should take element number, its initial node, its final node, x initial, x final, y initial, y final, length of the element, which is given by x final minus x initial whole square plus y final minus y initial whole square under the root. Next we have L equals cos theta, which is also equal to x final minus x initial by length of the element, and we should find sin theta m, which is also equal to y final minus y initial by length of the element. Now, if I calculate the values of direction cosines L and M, it is turning out to be for element 1, the initial node is 1, final node is 2. For element 2, the initial node is 1, final node is 3. Because globally least is 1, next highest is 3. Now coming for the values of x initial, x final and length, if I calculate, it is turning out to be x initial and x final is x1 and x2. x1 is 4, x2 is 0. Next, y1 is 0, y2 is 3. Similarly, for element 2, I should solve for x1, x3, y1, y3. x1 is 4, x3 is 0, y1 is 0 and y3 is also 0. Now coming for length of the element, length of element 1 will be root of 4 minus 0 whole square plus 3 minus 0 whole square, which is nothing but 5 meters, whereas for element 2 it is 4 meters. Now coming for direction cosines L and M, we have 0 minus 4 divided by length of the element is 5, which is minus 0.8. Coming for M, it is 3 minus 0 by 4. Sorry, 3 minus 0 by 5, which is 0.6. Coming for element 2, direction cosine matrix L is 4 by minus 4 by 4, that is 0 minus 4 by 4, which is minus 1. For M, if I calculate, I will get 0 by anything is 0. Now let us verify by angles taken at initial node in positive x direction, measured counterclockwise. So if I check for element 1, the angle theta will be 180 minus tan inverse of opposite by adjacent is 3 by 4, which is nothing but 143.13 degrees. That is, cos of 143 is minus 0.8, sin of 143.14 is 0.6, that is correct. Now for element 2, the angle is 180, so therefore cos pi is minus 1, sin pi is 0, the answers are correct. Next, moving for step number 4, to calculate element stiffness matrix. Moving ahead for step 4, to calculate element stiffness matrix, we have K of an element is given by AE by length of the element L square Lm Lm m square minus L square minus Lm minus Lm minus m square minus L square minus Lm minus Lm minus m square L square Lm Lm m square. Now if I substitute the values and solve, I get K of element 1 as K of element 1 will be area is 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into Young's modulus is 200 GPa. Since we are solving in meters, I should take E as 200 into 10 to the power of 9 pascals, which is 2 into 10 to the power of 11 pascals. So that is 2 into 10 to the power of 11, because we are solving in meters, divided by length in meters. Length of element 1 in meters is 5. So which is nothing but 24 into 10 to the power of 6. 24 into 10 to the power of 6. Now we have L square as 0.8. Let me write it to avoid mistake. We got 24 into 10 to the power of 6. L square is 0.8 square, which is 0.64. Lm will be 0.8 into 0.6, which is 0.48. It is minus 0.48 and 0.36. It will be minus 0.64 plus 0.48 plus 0.48 minus 0.36. Minus 0.64 plus 0.48 plus 0.48 minus 0.36 plus 0.64 minus 0.48 minus 0.48 and plus 0.36. So if I multiply 24, I will get 24 into 0.64, which is nothing but 15.36. So 10 to the power of 6 times 15.36, 0.48 into 24 is 11.52 minus 11.52 minus 11.52. 0.36 into 24 is 8.64. So completing the matrix, we have minus 15.36 plus 11.52 plus 11.52 minus 8.64 minus 15.36 plus 11.52 plus 11.52 minus 8.64. Here we have 15.36 minus 11.52 minus 11.52, 8.64. Now coming for the displacement of element 1. For element 1, the displacements are u1 v1, u2 v2. So if I write, I will get u1 v1, u2 v2, u1 v1, u2 v2. Next, moving for element 2. So if we move for element 2, so if I substitute area is given as 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Young's modulus is 2 into 10 to the power of 11. Here the length of element 2 is 4, which is nothing but 30 into 10 to the power of 6. 30 into 10 to the power of 6. We have L square is 1, Lm is 0, M square is 0. So minus 1 0 0, minus 1 0 0, 1 0 0 0. So therefore I will get the answer as 10 to the power of 6 times 30 0 minus 30 0 0 0 0 0 minus 30 0 plus 30 0 0 0 0 0. Coming for the nodal displacements of element 2, it is u1 v1, u3 v3. So we have U1 V1 U3 V3 U1 V1 U3 V3. Now we have calculated the element stiffness matrix of both. So therefore, moving for step 5, that is global stiffness matrix, I will get from step 5. If I go for global stiffness matrix, the order of global stiffness matrix is n cross 2n cross 2n for truss. This is because of the reason at each node I should calculate two displacements, one in x direction and one in y direction. So therefore it is totally we have 3 nodes, so therefore it is 6 cross 6. These are 6 displacements to be calculated. We have 10 power 6 common. The 6 displacements to be calculated are U1 V1 U2 V2 U3 V3. They are U1 V1 U2 V2 U3 V3. Let us take 4 at a time. So if I take these 4, it is U1 V1 cross U1 V1. So I will get 15.36 minus 11.52 minus 11.52 8.64. U2 V2 cross U1 V1 U2 V2 cross U1 V1 will be minus 15.36 plus 11.52 plus 11.52 8.64 minus. Coming for this 4, U1 V1 U2 V2 U1 V1 U2 V2 will come here. It is minus 15.36 11.52 minus 8.64. Taking last 4, it is U2 V2 cross U2 V2 U2 V2 cross U2 V2 will come here. We have 15.36 minus 11.52 minus 11.52 plus 8.64. Next, moving for this 4, it is U1 V1 cross U1 V1. So therefore I should add 30 for this. So 15 plus 30 is 45. It will become 45.36. 45.36 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 remains same. Next, U3 V3 cross U1 V1 will go here. It will become minus 30 0 0 0. This 4 will go for U1 V1 cross U3 V3, that is here. It will become minus 30 0 0 0, and this 4 is U3 V3 cross U3 V3 U3 V3 cross U3 V3 will come here, that is 30 0 0 0. Now fill the unfilled position with zeros. So we have 4 zeros here and 4 zeros here. So this is the global stiffness matrix for the given problem. Now moving ahead for step number 6, that is for load vector. If I go for step 6, load vector. So if I write the load vectors at node number 1, along x direction we have 1 kilonewton, along y direction we don't have any load, so therefore it is 1 into 10 to the power of 3 0. At node 2 we don't have any loads, along x it is 0, along y it is 0. At node number 3 also we don't have any load, along x it is 0, along y it is 0. So this is the load vector for this problem. That is Fx1 is 1000 newtons and rest all the force values are zeros. So with this, let us move for step number 7, that is equilibrium equation and application of boundary condition. That is moving for step number 7, that is equilibrium equation and application of boundary condition. You know that equilibrium equation is given by K matrix into Q matrix is equal to F matrix. We have the K matrix known to us, which is 10 to the power of 6 times. Let me complete the matrix. Now we have copy pasted the global stiffness matrix. Next, Q matrix is nothing but displacements U1, V1, U2, V2, U3, V3, K into Q is equal to F. F matrix is, let me take 10 to the power of 6 common, thereby I can simplify easily. So if I take 10 power 6 common, I should write 10 to the power of minus 3, it will become 0.001 0 0 0 0 0. I can take 10 power of 6 common. So now I can cancel off 10 power 6 and 10 power 6 because we are using elimination method of handling the boundary condition. Now coming for the displacements, node 1 is fixed, U1 and V1 are 0. At node number, so at node number 1, he has given the displacement in y direction as 50 mm upward. So therefore, he has specified the value of V1. So V1 is given for us, which is 50 mm, and at node 2 it is completely fixed. So therefore, U2 and V2 are 0. At node 3 it is completely fixed. So therefore, U3 and V3 are 0. So now eliminating the respective rows and column, since V1 is known, so I am eliminating the second row and second column. Since U2 and V2 are equal to 0, I am eliminating third row, third column, fourth row, fourth column. Since U3 and V3 are 0, eliminate fifth row, fifth column, and sixth row, sixth column. Now the careful observation is that the displacement is not equal to 0. So therefore, as per elimination method, in the active row, the term which is eliminated in the column should be multiplied with its respective displacement and taken to RHS. Since the displacement is not equal to 0, I should do actual elimination technique. I cannot solve for the remaining terms. Very, very important. So therefore, if I do that, I left out with 45.36 U1 is equal to 0.001. So this will get multiplied with V1. So it is plus 11.52 V1. This is get multiplied with U2 plus 15.36 U2 minus 11.52 V2 plus 30 U3 minus 0. So now U2 is 0 and V2 is also 0, U3 is also 0. So therefore, I will get the value of displacement U1 as 0.001 plus 11.52 into V1 should be substituted in meters. Very, very important because we are solving the entire problem in meters. So V1 will be 50 mm, which is nothing but 0.053 meters. 0.05 meters. 0.05 divided by 45.36, which is turning out to be 0.0127 meters, which is equal to, if I multiply 1000, I will get it in millimeters as 12.72 mm is the displacement of node 1. So very important, since the known displacement is not equal to 0, I should do actual elimination method, according to which in the active row the terms which are eliminated in column should be multiplied with their respective displacement and taken to RHS. That is what I have done. So since we are solving the problem in meters, substitute V1 in meters and solve, I get the answer as U1 is equal to 12.72 millimeters. So now I can calculate the elemental stresses and support reaction. Now moving for elemental stresses, we have if I move for elemental stresses, we know that elemental stress for process is given by E by length of the element minus L minus M L M into Q matrix. So for element 1, if I substitute and solve, we have for element 1, since I am solving in meters, we have element 1, Young's modulus is same for both the elements. So therefore sigma 1 will become 2 into 10 to the power of 11 divided by length of element 1 is 5 meters. L for element 1 is minus 0.8, so minus of minus will become plus 0.8 minus 0.6 minus 0.8 plus 0.6. Now for element 1, the displacements are U1 V1, U2 V2. So U1 V1, U1 in meters is 0.01272 meters. V1 is in meters 0.05 given for us, which is specified as 50 mm. U2 V2 are 0. So therefore sigma 1 will be 0.8 into 0.01272 plus minus 0.6 into 0.05 plus 0 plus 0. So this answer is multiplied by 2 into 10 to the power of 11 divided by 5. Is turning out to be minus 792.96 megapascals into 10 to the power of 6 pascals. So 10 to the power of 6 is nothing but megapascals. So similarly, if I do for sigma 2 will be 2 into 10 to the power of 11 divided by length of the element is 4. The value of L is minus 1, it will become plus 1, 0, minus 1, 0 times for element 2, the displacements are U1 V1, U3 V3. So U1 is known 0.01272, V1 is given 0.05 meters, U3 is 0, V3 is 0. So therefore sigma 2 for this problem is turning out to be 0.01272 multiplied by 2 into 10 to the power of 11 divided by 4, which is nothing but 636 megapascals. So the answer is 636 megapascals. we want to calculate the support reaction. Moving for support reaction, the support reaction is given by the formula for support reaction is R matrix is equal to K matrix into Q matrix minus F. So that is Rx1, Ry1, Rx2, Ry2, Rx3 and Ry3 is equal to 10 to the power of 6 is common what we have taken. This is K matrix into Q minus F. F matrix is also multiplied with 10 to the power of 6. If I solve, I will get the answer in newtons. Now we know the value of U also. Where the Q matrix is given by 0.0127, 0.050000. Q matrix minus F is equal to R. If you clearly observe, only first two elements will get multiplied, remaining all are 0. So therefore, only first two will get multiplied, that is 45.36 into 0.0127 plus minus 11.52 into 0.05. The whole answer is multiplied by 10 to the power of 6 minus 1 kilonewton, that is 1000, which is equal to minus 928. Coming for Ry1, we have minus 11.52 multiplied with 0.01272 plus 8.64 multiplied by 0.05. The whole answer is multiplied by 10 to the power of 6 minus 0, which is nothing but 2,85,466. 2,85,466, because we have support at node 1 in y direction, hence we have reaction. Next, coming for Rx2, it is minus 15.36 into 0.01272 plus 11.52 into 0.05. Whole answer is multiplied by 10 to the power of 6, which is 3,80,621. 3,80,621 newtons. Next, coming for Ry2, it is 11.52 multiplied by 0.01272 plus minus 8.64 into 0.05. The whole answer is multiplied by 10 to the power of 6, which is turning out to be minus 2,85,000 minus 2,85,466 newtons. Next, coming for Rx3, it is just minus 30 into 0.0127 multiplied by 10 to the power of 6, which is minus 3,81,000, whereas Ry3 is 0. So this is the solution for support reaction, and this is the complete solution for problem number 3. A very important note is that since the displacement V1 is not equal to 0, we should use actual elimination method. That is, in the remaining row, the terms which are eliminated in column should be multiplied with the corresponding displacement and taken to RHS, then you should solve. That is what I have done, and I found out the actual answer for this problem, which is turning out to be